Yeah.
Hello, everybody of ESC Plus, to our viewers. I'm here with Rodan, one of the contestants of the Czech national final this year. Um, Rodan, let's start off with like the most important thing. How are you?
Yeah, but I think I'm cool. It's just like this week's been really stressful for everybody, I'd say. So yeah, we're all pretty exhausted, but at the same time, I think that we're super excited about what's gonna happen, and we're happy to be like a part of this journey.
And because you're on this journey, because the Czech national final is progressing these days, are you nervous?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm nervous about what would happen if I would be the one. That would be that would be pretty stressful, I'd say. But right now I'm just happy and excited about like being here, and I'm trying to enjoy it no matter what will happen. So I think that yeah, I'll be pretty nervous if I would be the one, but now I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, great to hear that you're so cool about it as well. Let's talk about your song. The song is called Introvert Party Club, which is um the difference in the words of the title is quite exciting. What does the song mean to you and where does it come from?
Well, Intro Body Club is definitely like a special one to me because it is one of the first songs that is like really about me. Because in the past I used to write songs like about worlds I created in my head because I was so sure that because of the fact that I'm an introvert, that I got nothing to say and that I should like create those situations and create those worlds and write songs about them because I'm just not cool enough to write songs about. But then I went to songwriting camp in Czech Republic, and like the last day of the camp, I was with Jenda Vavra, Joey Dolman, and Jan Apple in one team, and we were like, yeah, let's write something about you because introverts are enough. So we did write Introvert Party Club, and we just wanted to write something that would like have like a happy sound or like put you in a good mood, but with like a deep lyrics. So yeah, that's the background.
You just said that you were uh, in a songwriting camp. Being an introvert, wasn't that difficult?
Yeah, I mean, it actually was because like we were like writing songs for like the whole day, and then we had like a listening session around 9 p.m. And after the listening session, we had like just like free time, I'd say, where we were just chilling and like talking, and it was pretty hard for me because there were like 40 people, I'd say, and I knew like three of them. And for me, it's really hard to like start a conversation with someone I don't know. So they were all talking down there, and I was up there with my phone, and I was just listening to music and watching movies because I just couldn't go down there to talk to somebody because yeah, so it was pretty hard.
Um, was it done on purpose or was it like a mission of yours to enter the national Czech final with a very personal song?
Uh, not really. It wasn't like that. We would like say, okay, let's write a song for Eurovision. We have to do that because we were like usually like at those camps you're like, okay, so should we write something for Eurovision or should we write something different? And we were like, yeah, let's not focus on writing song like directly for Eurovision, but let's just focus on writing a good song, and we did. I hope so. And then we were like, yeah, we should probably submit it because like there's this guy Krzysztof Shamal from like a delegation of Czech Eurovision, and he was there like during the songwriting camp listening to songs, and if he likes something, he usually like goes to that artist and says like, yeah, you should submit it, and that's what happened. So we discussed it with Krzysztof, and he agreed that it's probably a good song and we should submit it. So yeah, so we decided that we should, but it wasn't like we were writing something for Eurovision.
Okay. Was it a lifelong dream of yours to maybe go to Eurovision or to be in the Czech national final?
I mean, it's definitely something that's like a huge thing because I love football, and when I see like footballers representing their country,
Mhm.
it's really cool to see it because they're all standing there like with their hand here and singing their theme and stuff, and they're playing for their country. So like Eurovision is basically the same thing, but in music, where you're representing your
Mhm.
country. So like it's the only way to represent your country in music, kind of, because it's like the only competition where you could really do that. So I always saw like Eurovision as a great platform for artists to represent their country and to get their music to people from all over the world. But like in Czech Republic, Eurovision is not that popular
Mhm.
because, and I don't see a reason why, but uh, it's definitely not that popular like in Spain or
Mhm.
England or countries like that. But yeah, I mean, when I heard about Eurovision for the first time that you can actually represent your country, it was like, oh, cool, that would be great.
Is there like a thing that you get prepared for, as you say, like a little bit of the World Cup of music, the Eurovision is? Do you get prepared for that? Is there someone backstage or maybe like a team that tells you like this is what you're getting yourself into?
Yeah, like, do you mean in the national final?
Also, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I feel like there's always got to be like some kind of preparation for that because it's not like usually gig or like typical live stream. It's just something different. So, but I also think that it's up to the artist if he or she wants to like have some team around him or herself, or he wants to do it on their own.
Mhm.
But I got a team, like a great team, and it's really great to work with them because they're doing amazing job, and I wouldn't be here without them. But I feel like you really have to prepare for this kind of event like differently because you have to prepare for definitely for international interviews,
Mhm.
which is something which is something difficult totally. Uh, but yeah, and like you have to prepare for this like communication with fans or followers from
Mhm.
all over the world, and that's pretty hard because I'd say that Eurovision fans are like a different group of people. It's like it's really they're really sweet and they're really generous, but at the same time they're really passionate about the
Mhm.
competition. And I feel like when you want to be successful, you really need to talk to them, and you really need to like show them that you love them, and you do because they're great.
Mhm.
But it's really hard to talk to everybody, at the same
Mhm.
time. So you really need to prepare for that. And yeah, I'd say that Eurovision is really time consuming as well because you need
Mhm.
to spend like a lot of time doing that, doing that, doing that. So you really need to prepare for that.
Okay, great, great, great to hear that you are getting prepared. I've been to Eurovision, not as a singer, but as a reporter a couple of times. And I have to say it's wonderful, but it can also be a bit of a circus. So I'm always
Yeah.
wondering whether people get like prepared for it as well. It's great that to hear that you have a team for that as well. Um, Best case scenario, you make it onto the Eurovision stage in May. What do you want people to learn from your presence there?
Uh, yeah, just basically the message of a song that just don't be afraid to be an introvert because it's not a
Mhm.
bad thing. And because I know the feeling. I know how someone may be feeling like that they're introvert and that they feel like they're not enough because of that,
Mhm.
that they're not worth it. Because I felt like that like years ago, and because of the fact that I don't right now, that I realized that it's fucking great to be an introvert. I want them to realize that through Introvert Party Club because I feel like we created a place like that party club for introverts and for people, and not just for introverts, like for people who just don't feel that they belong or who don't feel like they should be themselves because someone pushes them to not be. And we created that place for those people, and we can all be there, even like 20 meters away from each other if that's how we want it, and we all could be just fine, just existing. And that's the message of Introvert Party Club. And I would love to do that in Eurovision, like in May, if we would be selected, because I feel like that's a really cool message. So yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, great to hear. I think it's a very inspirational message as well for people who are introverts, that it is not a bad thing. And I think these days we're focusing too much, with social media and
Yeah,
all those kinds of things on being too much out there or
yeah.
getting our gratification from social media. So I think this is a beautiful message.
Thank you.
Um, Worst case scenario, Rodan, you don't make it onto the Eurovision stage upcoming May. But you were in the Czech national final, of course. What did you learn from your journey up to now?
To be honest, I think like in a way I've won already because of that national final. I got to know so many great people, like Eurovision fans, because it was really crazy. It was, sorry for the word, it was fucking crazy because I remember that when the live stream finished and I was just heading to my dressing room, I picked up my phone and I read all those messages where people were texting me from all over the world, from Germany and England and just every country, and
Mhm.
they were texting me like they were thanking me for creating a place where they would actually finally feel cool. And it wasn't just introverts, but it was like members of LGBTQ community and
Mhm.
stuff like that, which is really cool because I really felt and I still feel like my music really has an impact on
Mhm.
somebody, which is something that I did not really feel before. And
Mhm.
it's just so cool that because of the national final of Eurovision, uh, that happened. Because I mean, I feel like that's what everybody who does music wants, like to
Mhm.
feel that somebody relates to them and relates to their music, and that's what happened because of the Eurovision. So in a way, I've won already because I met so many great people who told me that they are grateful for Introvert Party Club and for what we did. And for me, that's so much more than I don't know, than like honestly, if I'm not gonna win this, I'm totally cool with it because I got these people, these Eurovision fans, and that's just perfect.
Mhm. I think that is the most beautiful thing of Eurovision these days, that also people who for some reason stay in the national final and do not make it onto the Eurovision stage, they also get a stage. And some of them even become bigger than the winner
Yeah.
or people who were on the stage. So I think there's an opportunity there as well. Um, Looking at your inspirations in music, I see like an Ed Sheeran shirt over there hanging. Um, so can we say that Ed Sheeran is an inspiration to you, or maybe are there any other artists?
Yeah, totally. I actually started playing guitar like because of Ed Sheeran. I remember that I got my guitar like 4 years ago, and then I started learning like every single song by Ed Sheeran. Because yeah, I mean, he's such a great artist, and I just love that he can like grab his guitar and sing for like thousands of people just by himself with his guitar, which is so cool. That's why I did like national final only with my guitar because I feel like comfortable with it. So Ed Sheeran is definitely one of the biggest influences. And then like Dermot Kennedy, an Irish singer, because I remember that I spent like 1 month in Ireland and I was listening to one song by Dermot Kennedy all day, every single day, which sounds pretty dumb and stupid, but I don't know, I just did. And then definitely Luis Capaldi because of his like humor and
Mhm.
how he treats his fans and stuff like that.
Really great to hear. Great also, of course, that you have these influences in music. Um, well, is there anything you would like to share with the people who watch this interview that we maybe missed out during this interview or that I did not ask you about?
Uh yeah, I mean, I don't know. As I mentioned before, in a way, if there's like somebody who's watching this interview or and they did not hear the song, which is completely fine, or they don't like the song, which is completely fine as well. You don't have to, but please, if there's somebody who is an introvert or who's just different, then don't push them on, don't make them like, or don't push them to change, or then make them change, because uh, it's none of your business. If somebody feels like they're different, they don't want to go out, or they don't want to do something, or they feel different, then it's their business. And you don't have to like the song, you don't have to like Intro Party Club, you don't have to be a member of the club, but just be respectful.
Okay, that's a really nice thing to conclude with, really sweet. I think like a lot of people can learn from it. So I think that's a good quote to end with. Rodan, I would like to thank you for this interview, taking some time to talk to us of ESCplus International. And I'm going to wish you the best of luck in the Czech national final. And maybe we see each other again somewhere in Eurovision lands.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you.